I'll be honest, y'all, I'm not having a great hair day. And I have 4 videos that I want to film today. 4. With a not so great hair day. We're gonna get through this together. So I think when it comes to being a YouTuber, when it comes to filming videos, when it comes to like getting this done, right? Like I just said, I'm filming 4 videos today, and those 4 videos are going to go out over the next 2 weeks because I'm gonna try and pick up my publishing cadence here a little bit, but there has to be a process, right? There has to be a process of filming and editing and getting stuff done, or it doesn't get done. And I've done videos like this in the past, but I really want to break down how I'm filming and editing my YouTube videos as someone who does this full time, and I'm doing all of that myself. I do have help. I do have one full-time employee, but she manages everything. She manages this side of the business, my brand deals, all of that, our launches, graphics, social medias, whatever. But then she also manages our local like social media marketing agency. And so to add something like editing onto her is insane. And then plus also, nobody else can film because it's my channel and it's me. So I film and I edit right now. That's not always been the case. It will probably not always be the case, but right now I do it by myself. So I want to show you how I get it all done and make everything like kind of work seamlessly. So I'm a bit of like a gearhead, right? Like I really like cameras. I've always loved cameras. Funny story actually about my love of cameras. When I graduated high school, my grandmother gave me like $500, I think it was, to buy a laptop for school. And instead of buying a laptop for school, I bought a digital camera. It was more important to me at the time, whatever. It really pissed her off too, by the way. She was not happy. But like, that's just who I am. I have very much so always been like a gearhead, and I love gear and I love different cameras. I love testing different cameras and mics and things like that. And so when it comes to the gear that I use to film my YouTube videos, I'm gonna keep it to my most simple gear, the things that I use the most, so that I don't like overwhelm you with like a bunch of gear. And the camera I'm filming on now is the camera that I use 99.9% of the time, especially for like in my office talking head videos, and that is the Sony ZV-E1. This is the top of the line full frame camera in the creator line that has the same sensor as the FX3 and as the A7S III. And it also is kind of made for vloggers, so I can turn on features that would like allow it to focus quicker, you know, on like items, or blur my skin a little bit, that I don't have in some other cameras, even like higher end cameras than this one with the same sensor. But this is what I use 99.9% of the time. If you see me filming videos here at my desk, here in my office, I'm using the Sony ZV-E1. I'm a full frame girl through and through. I just really like that I can use the same lenses, the same everything on all my cameras, and so I keep everything very full frame. And the lens that I'm filming with right now is the lens that's usually on the camera, and it is the Sony 20mm 1.8. So like you can see how blurry and pretty this background is, especially if I get closer. Like the background is so blurry, but it's also pretty wide angle. So if I have to carry it, like this would be me carrying the camera right here, I can get pretty far away from myself and I'm not like vlogging with my camera in my face. So love this lens. I also use this one quite a bit, which is a 16-35. You can see how big that sucker is though. It's a big honker. It adds a lot of weight to my rig, and so I don't generally use it all the time, but it is one of my favorites. And it is a 2.8, so the blurry background isn't as blurry as it is on my 1.8, so I generally stick with this. And some kind of secondary cameras that I do want to mention, because I do use them pretty often when it comes to filming videos. The DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I really like to use this to get B-roll, to get behind the scenes, to be discreet if I'm filming in public, to get like weird angles, because I can put this one is actually like a sticky puck, but I also have some magnetic pucks that I can like put somewhere and just get like a different angle. I really, really love this guy. My phone, obviously, I have not upgraded yet to the 17. I'm going to. It definitely, I'm going to. This is the 16. But I use this obviously all the time to film videos. And then my Meta Ray-Bans. So I use these all the time for like behind the scenes footage, and getting things when my hands are full, or when I want to get like me filming or whatever I might want to do Love, love, love these. And so I would highly recommend these if that's something that you want to do. And then to kind of finish out the gear section, let's talk about the mics. So I generally use the DJI mic minis because of how tiny they are. I actually have, it's under this little guy. I actually have the mic 2. I actually have all of the DJIs. I have the mic 1s. I have one of the mic 2s that came with my Osmo Pocket 3. But you can see the size difference in this. And so I really, really enjoy using the minis because they pick up my audio just the same, just as amazingly, but they're not this big. Now I do use this guy a lot for like if I'm gonna hold one, or if I want to, because it will record internally. So if I want something like that really quick and I just wanna like run and gun and don't have time to like fiddle with everything, I can use this too. And like you saw a second ago, I do have like a little rig situation where I could like hold a mic if I want to, Bob Barker style. And then when I'm not using the mic mini, I'll use a top of camera mic by Sony. I don't ever remember the names of these things, but the ECM something, I'll pop it across the screen. These provide really great sound for a top of camera mic, and because they're made for Sony cameras, they are activated by the hot shoe, so I don't have to have cables. So if I'm vlogging or something like that, I use that mic every single time. They actually have a newer one that is about the same size that will allow you to split track the forward audio and the backwards audio, so that if you're like vlogging and you're turning your camera on the regular, it's getting both audios equally, and then you can fix it in post, which one you want to be stronger or delete one or whatever. And I'm thinking about getting that one because that seems really cool. So, but any of the like Sony top of camera hot shoe activated mics, chef's kiss. Now let's talk softwares. I edit with DaVinci Resolve, and this is like fairly new. I edited with Premiere Pro until 2020, 2021 maybe, and then I switched to Final Cut Pro, and I was using Final Cut Pro until recently. I switched to DaVinci Resolve back in the summer, maybe in the spring of this year, 2025. So apparently every 5 years I like switch softwares. But DaVinci Resolve is my fave right now. I actually did a video, I'll pop it up right here, about like some of the reasons that it's my favorite, like some of the things that save me time in DaVinci Resolve, but I absolutely love it. And it's one of the systems that I feel like I couldn't live without to get all of this YouTube-y stuff done. Another software that I want to mention, because I don't think I've talked about them at all on this channel, and this is not sponsored at all, but I do use them quite often, and that is Poppy AI. So I will use ChatGPT and have been using ChatGPT forever, as long as it's been a thing, to come up with ideas or to like help me spark different points of creativity in here. Because sometimes I'm just blank and my head is not creating ideas at all. So I'll go into ChatGPT and I'll be like, hey, I would love to create some videos. Like, here's the parameters. Can you help me? But what I'm loving about Poppy AI is that you can actually go in and tell it some other videos that you want it to use as a frame of reference and get that to help you come up with ideas. So if I want to say, okay, I have this video that's done really well on my channel. This person over here has done a video. Let me do something similar to that. This person over here has done a video that I love. This person over here has done this video. I can feed all of those into one chat in Poppy AI, and then I can say, hey, these are all the videos that I want to draw inspiration from. Can you give me 10 ideas for videos that I can do that are like these? And it's just like other AI. You can train it. You can say like, hey, this is the kind of channel I have. This is the kind of thing I want to do, whatever. Or you can just say, ignore everything I've ever told you, use these videos as a reference and give me some ideas, or use these videos as a reference and help me come up with a script for X, Y, or Z idea. It's a really, really, really great resource, I think, for creators specifically. And there's a ton of ways we can use it. That's just the way that I use it the most. I will link Poppy AI below. It is my affiliate link, but it is a really, really, really stupendous service that I've been using a lot lately. And I feel like I can't exit the software category until I talk about Dropbox. We use Dropbox for everything. So as soon as I get done filming the 4 videos that I'm filming today, I'm going to take my SD card out of my camera, I'm going to put it in my computer, and I'm going to drag all of these files in appropriate folders for each video. So what I do is I organize it by year, and then by month, and then by video title. So in Dropbox, there's a YouTube videos folder, then there's like all the years that I've been doing it this way. So I would click on 2025, and then from 2025, there's all the months. So I would go into October. Oh, it's November now, actually. I'd create a new one called November, and then in there is going to be different folders with each video title idea. And so in there, I'm going to dump all this raw footage. Then when I go to edit, I pull from Dropbox instead of my SD card or whatever. And that just keeps everything really organized and keeps me not like losing things. Like I'm not like, oh, I forgot I have to have that SD card to edit this video, because once you start editing a video, wherever your footage is, you need to keep that in the computer. So if I needed to grab this SD card and go for whatever reason, I couldn't do that. So I edit from Dropbox in that way. You could also do this with like SSDs or external hard drives or something like that. And I do that sometimes if I'm like traveling and things are not uploading to Dropbox super easily, but love me some Dropbox. Now, I touched on this a second ago when I talked about Dropbox, but the process in which I do these things, I have gotten really, really good at saving a lot of time because I have to, right? So I know that I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z in this amount of time. I know this is gonna take this much time. I'm gonna do this thing and this, and everything's built in a way to like save me time, but also create good videos, because that's the point. So my process looks a little bit like this. I will come up with ideas, and I use ClickUp to like come up with my ideas, come up with my publishing date, put all my notes in, things like that. And then when I'm ready to film, I generally film more than one video at a time, especially if they're like talking head videos like this. That's not always the case. Sometimes I'm like going out and doing something, or I just want to get out of my house to do something, or like whatever. So it's not always the case that I'm like sitting here, but if I'm sitting here, I do try and do like more than one video at a time, because it's gonna save me time. I got my makeup done, I got my hair done, even if my hair is not cooperating today, but it's all kind of done and I'm ready to like rock and roll. So we plan, we script, we do all of that, and then on a filming day, I have 2 to 4 videos that I can film. So I sit down and I film those videos. Generally, I'm changing my shirt. I'm trying to change up my scenery. So like earlier, I filmed a video you're gonna see in a couple weeks in the same shirt, but I was filming right there from my chair rather than from here. And then I'm gonna change my shirt for the next 2 so that, you know, like whatever. So I do a lot of that, but I film these videos, and then usually while I'm in filming mode, I will also do some shorts or something like that to kind of like make sure I'm taking full advantage of like, oh, I was ready to film today, whether energetically or physically or like whatever. And then, like I say, I will take the SD card, any kind of mic files I need to take. So like the one I filmed at my chair here, I used, oh, it's gonna fall. I used just my like standard mic like this. So I have to get the files from that, put them in Dropbox, but I put everything in Dropbox in their appropriate folders. And then I edit in order, and I use a ton of DaVinci like shortcuts and things to help me save time. Now, again, I talked about that. I'll make sure it's linked here and below. But one of my favorite things is to say, hey, DaVinci, go ahead and cut out all the blank spaces for me, because that saves me so much time. I edit, I upload, I schedule, we're done. Now, while I'm filming, I do go ahead and grab thumbnail shots while I'm filming, because that makes it easier. I know the shirt, I know the scenery, like all the things, and I know what the video is about. So for instance, for this video, when I'm done filming, I will like hit the record button and be done filming. And then I will hit record again, and I will like sit here on video and do something that I want to do for the thumbnail. So for this one, I might grab my play button to show like my authority as a YouTuber, and maybe like hold a camera in my hand to grab some shots, but I will literally leave it on video mode and just like, ooh, and then I cut those stills out in DaVinci while I'm editing. And honestly, that's pretty much it. I know that it sounds really simple when somebody's saying it like this, like, oh, I just do this and I just do this. But the process is like a process, and you know, like it is a whole thing, and you have to figure out what works best for you. But hopefully seeing behind the scenes of how I do this will help you kind of come up with your own process. I linked Poppy AI below if you want to try it out. Super fun, super cool tool. And then also that video about DaVinci and the different tips and tricks I have for that is below, and any gear I mentioned or whatever will be down there too. Until next time, bye!